Put it on mute.
And when we whoop enough ass, everybody gonna get in line and do right.
All right. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Welcome, everyone. We are live. We are back, and our title today is it a mental block that stops Black people from being God? And this title comes from certain things that have happened in a matter of a few weeks. You had, I think it's 3 people set on fire, Black people. One was the homeless Black woman in New York set on fire by a illegal immigrant. Then you had, I believe, a Black man set on fire. They don't know who set him on fire. And it was a third person that I had read got set on fire as well. You had another Black teenager killed by the police. They were in the wrong house. He was there protecting his house. When he saw it was the police, he laid his gun down, and they still busted him with the bullets and killed him. And also, we all know about the inmate that was beat to death by the all-white correctional officers that beat him literally to death. So there has to be a mental block in the minds of Black people that stops them from being their actual self, that stops them from seeing our open enemy as the enemy. Because instead of seeing them as the enemy, they see them as friends or see them as true authority, which they are not. And so we're going to deal with the mind today, and we're going to look at different scenarios to see what is the best way that we can deal with this thing. Now, I'm going to share a screen really quick on here and just go into this one part. Not that. So as we can see, I put in the question in the search engine, what part of the mind makes up your personality? And according to AI, they says, according to Sigmund Freud, psychoanalytic theory, the 3 main components of the mind that make up personality are the id, the ego, and the superego. Where the id represents basic desires and impulses. The ego acts as the realistic mediator, and the superego embodies morals and societal rules. This is our key components. It is the primitive instructional part of the mind, focused on immediate gratification of needs and desires, operating on the pleasure principle. Ego, considered the self. The ego functions to balance the demands of the id with the realities of the world and social expectations, operating on the reality principle. The superego, this part of the mind, internalizes societal norms and morals, acting as a conscience that judges behavior and strives for perfection. Brother Isaiah, as we get into this, what are your thoughts on the 3 parts of the mind, and how do you see it dealing with the mindset of our people to this day? That stands out.
Yeah, I studied. I never got a degree. It's just a part of the curriculum. But I disagree with it. You know what I mean? I fall back on what our ancestor said. and how
Mhm.
they lived and how they viewed the world and how they saw the mind, body, and soul. And to be honest with you, this is a cheap imitation of what they were talking about, based on a sexual oriented way in which Sigmund Freud and other psychologists, I can't remember their name, but one uh, psychologist taught instead of having the baby cry,
Mhm.
uh, she was she barking like a dog or something like that. I don't remember. But the
Mm.
mind is a fertile field that can be geared toward a lot of positive things and a lot of negative things. And when I heard that this psychologist agreed, I not agreed, uh, mentally infused within the mind of his own daughter, instead of hearing her cry, it was like I don't, yeah, I'm not gonna say, but it's like a moaning kind of thing, or dog bark kind of thing, or something along that line. But I'm not in agreement with that. You know what I'm saying. So I prefer to fall back on what our ancestors taught, and that dealt with the mind, body, soul, and spirit. And if you think about it, all of these so-called white psychologists like Carl Jung and Freud, just a whole list. I can't remember all of them. They really got their basis from Egypt. Feel me? So I'm not one to be going with white folks doing anything. I prefer my own and our own because they were on it. They understood the connection between uh, the universe and us and the universe, or the darkness of it all, because that's what we are. And we are the reflection of the dark universe filtered down in human form. So I'll throw it back at you.
Well, the when we're dealing with that, then in your way of putting it, how would you put it that the personality of the person is formed? How
Yeah, right. For me, and because it's a flow in it. Um, I would say, wow. Let me take a few seconds here. Uh, it's not difficult because the Bible, whether it's the Torah, whether it's the Islamic Bible, whether it's the Buddhism or Hinduism, all these are black oriented. And the way in which I see it, it is a way of life. All of these philosophies, it is a way of life to help you find the way of life for you. You feel me?
mhm.
So I took a little bit of this and a little bit of that and made it to fit me. It's like a piece of fabric, large fabric, and you can custom make it to fit you as long as it incorporates knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the world around you, the physical nature of it, the spiritual nature of it, the or whatever other means and or ways in which you can deal with it, whether it's incorporating gravity, whether incorporating the air, whether incorporating, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I see it in the way that I have imputed within me, it's encompassing not only knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, but you have to incorporate the virtues in living that. And that's what our ancestors did, and avoiding the seven deadly sins. So when you have those two elements under control, you have yourself under control because you are aware of avoiding the seven deadly sins. And that naturally accentuates the virtue, integrity, frugality, resoluteness, and all of that. That is what you must learn to live by. It's not so much, I'm under um, the Ten Commandments, and I must not steal. It's not a robot kind of response, but you are intimately involved within the circle of life, And we can understand that from our ancestors' way of life and looking at it, because from what I remember, I'm just bringing things up. Amenhotep didn't even hurt a fly if there was a fly back then, or anything of that nature, because everything has life in it. And your way of speaking, your tongue has life and death in it. So, and with all of that included, and you come down to what is really here, what is really going on, you get the mind, the words are coming out, and the manifesting of your actions. The mind dictates the word dictates the action. And so when you can understand that, you will understand that you are a God, not God in itself as all inclusive and all knowing, because there'll never be enough time in my life, your life, our lives together that we can live long enough to see everything and know everything. But what you need to do, this is just me speaking,
Mhm.
what you need to do is to feel, 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 feel. And my wife told me, well, I don't understand you. I don't, you know what I mean? And I'm telling her, baby girl, don't understand me, feel me. There's a big difference between trying to understand somebody mentally, because you're now locked in within your own framework of knowing something. Two plus two is three. Two plus two is four. I'm sorry, or whatever the case may be. But sometimes my two plus two is four. I mean, I'm sorry, my two plus two is three, five, nine, 1,000. You feel me? So it really depends. But you have to be able to understand where that person is coming from, their environment that they grew up in, and all of this is through feeling that person, understanding. When you feel that person, you can understand that person. When you can lower your level of understanding to that of a child, you can understand what they're going through because you've been there and done that already. This is the reason why a lot of kids don't understand how we can know what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or somebody at 40, right, can understand what somebody at 20 going through, because we've been there, done that. So we feel the given situation, we know the given situation, and this is, and if you really understood Sigmund Freud, he's a sexual maniac, man. He wasn't well in his own fucking brain. None of these motherfuckers were, and all these bastards got their information from us, from our ancient ancestors. And when you look at the book called The Secret, that ain't no goddamn secret to us. They
Right.
got that shit from us. So there was nothing new under the sun. So when you understand that, you got that basic understanding in your own brain, then you can like cannot send out the tentacles of your own uh of, of your own mentality, I guess, if that's the word I'm looking for, of your own tentacles of feeling, that you can understand what a person going to do, what a person going to say, and you've been there, done that. And you can understand where a person. When we talk about, for example, Madden football, we understand the game. Now, if I'm coming from South America and all we do is just play soccer football, they're not going to be able to understand where we're coming from. It's a whole nother realm, you know what I mean? But for me to understand you, I had to be a part of that American culture. Mom, apple pie, baseball, or football. That's our culture. But when you look at it from the black perspective, now you're getting into a whole nother range of feelings and emotions and mentality. You feel me? But I'll throw it back at you.
All right. Thank you, Brother Isaiah. I want to welcome Earth Angel 1105 Remix, Peace and Blessings Queen. And I want to welcome Lady Peach Pink, Peace and Blessings. Welcome back to the program. And yes, we were away last Sunday, but we are back in full force today. Sister Cassie, what do you think about that when it talks about making up how the brain makes up the personality? When we look and dealing with the issues that we discussed with the three black people being burnt, burnt up, the brother being shot and killed by the police in the wrong house, um, even with the inmate being beat to death. What do you think about that? Where the brain makes up personality?
You know what? That's a loaded question. I tell you, living here in America with people wanting to be accepted, and Black folk need to be accepted, right? We've
Right.
been abused, traumatized. We're filled with so much anger, rage, hatred right now, and it's we can't even express it the way we feel right now, right? So the best way we can do it is to take it out on each other, because we're fearful, of taking it out on somebody else. We're
Mm-hmm.
fearful of harming them because we have seen, right, what they can do. We've seen them burn. We've seen them hang us. We've seen them say it's suicide. We've seen them kill our children, Dante. We've seen a lot of trauma, and they play it over and over and over, and they never punish anybody. So we see that. So because of that, and because of the genetics, and okay, I understand genetics, I understand the environment, and I understand the interaction that we need with other people. But when you've gone through the PTSD of this country, the horrors of it, it begins to develop like rage and and other negative emotions in us. Like we're very it begins to build a lower self-esteem also.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just so I don't know about Sigmund Freud. I don't believe a whole lot of what white folks say about, because they can't tell Black folk about us because they
Right.
have never worked in our shoes. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to go by DNA. We have to go by the past of what our ancestors went through, and that was passed down generation to generation. We have to go on the educational system. We have to go on the news and what we've seen, and we've gone through the PTS part of it now, which is Joy. I go by her, Joy McGur. What's her the jury
Mm-hmm.
Joy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, but she has also explained what we're going through and what we've gone through. And everything she said, I agree with it because it's showing the behaviors of today. So even in the past, we've gone through a lot of hell, right? So what you're seeing today is the residue of slavery, the residue of passed down traumas, the residue of the traumas and the dramas living in this racist country. And then you got some Black folk that's so used to the behavior, they'll say, "Oh, master, it's okay, abuse us some more. You're not racist, master. What the hell are you talking about?" But that's the need and the self-esteem, the low self-esteem that's been developed by us going through the abuse that we've gone through and the horrors of this country. That's why Black folk act the way we act. That's why we think the way we think. That's why we don't dare touch them, because even as children, let's go there. Even as children, you're told in schools, don't hit back. You're shown it, don't hit back. And what happens when you hit back? You get punished. They don't get
Right.
punished. You get punished. So what message are you sending to me as a child that they are touched? We can't touch them. Then you've gone through the religious part of it to see Jesus as being white. So that too is passed down. That don't touch white folk. They're gods. Those are your gods. So you have to understand a lot of what we see on TV, a lot of the music, a lot of what we see in our jobs. Because you go to work, you're picked on by them, right? You're harassed by them. You see them being treated better. You see them being, given all kind of incentives. We see all of that. Do you think we're blind? We're not blind. We see that. So what's that doing for your psyche? What's that telling you within your spirit? That I'm useless. I'm no good. Everything they do is right. Everything I do is wrong. Because for years, they've told you were nothing. They told you were lazy. How are we lazy when we built this damn country? Oh, why? Because we won't work our asses off for you anymore. We want to create our own over here. So now we lazy because we don't want to, you know, slave after you anymore. So all of that comes together in our psyche. So now you have, Isaiah, mute your mic, please. You have men and women and children that's being taunted. You had the 7-year-old boy who got spit in his face, right? So what do you think that's doing for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we had I couldn't find it. I'm gonna try to find it. They was even saying one more incident happened where a little girl who was walking to Dollar General got set on fire by a white boy. Okay, I was trying to find that. That's something recent that I was just told the other day. So I've been, gotta look for that. But that's what we're told. So when you hear all of that, you see all of that, what is that putting in your spirit? I better not touch them people because we all know and we'll say it. We hear people saying it. You touch them, you're going to jail. You're going to jail for a long time. You're going to die in jail, right? We've seen that. We've heard that. So therefore, what is that doing? Don't touch. They're off limits. We can touch each other because we don't get punished for touching each other, but we do get punished for touching them. So that's a signal, an unspoken word. Do not touch. Do not hit back. Do not fight. Do not be angry because they told you love being slaves. So them niggas, they love to be slaves. They love to be abused. Then when you voted for Trump, some said, oh, they love the racism. So you're being gaslit again. So it's all, so I don't know, Fred, fraud, whoever. I don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth because he's not ever walked in our shoes. So he can't tell me about being black. And I rest with that.
Definitely. I want to ask too, when we're living in a racist country that many people refuse to admit that America is a racist country, and we talk about the atrocities that not only happened to our ancestors, but are still happening to us right here, right now. And to me, we kind of taken the same road we've always taken and say the police will get involved and they'll handle it, and justice will come that way. What do you think will it take for our people, for it to click in the minds of Black people that the injustice system is never getting you justice? It has failed to get you justice on every aspect of our encounter where justice was demanded. That it has literally failed. Emmett Till failed. The four little girls that was blown up in the church failed. Tamir Rice failed. All of this. The first little brother, I forget his name, that Zimmerman failed. There's no justice that have been produced for us that's coming out of their injustice system. What will it take for it to click in the minds of Black people that we can't look to them for justice? What do you think, Sister Cassie?
Well, we're not going to get everybody, but people here see it. We see it. Certain Black folk, we see it. And we know that it's coming. We know that it's going to take one small and very small incident that's going to happen. And that's going to be it. It's going to be one small little something that's not even going to mean a lot. You know how you hold so much for so long, then that one little thing happened and you just burst wide open, right? That's coming. It's coming, and it's coming really soon, right? But people don't understand. We've been so busy and we've been so brainwashed to wait on God. Wait on, God. What did he say? He gets revenge for us. We've been so torn and taught this Christianity that we don't even think we have to fight. We'll use that as an excuse not to fight. But I do believe that when it's time, that's not going to matter. And I think that's happening very soon. I do. I believe that that's going to be a time, and a lot of folk going to die on both sides, because it's going to take that in order for revolution to start, in order for change to start. It's not going to just happen by itself. It's going to take that one incident that's going to have to happen, and then Black folk will rise, because they're tired now. We're just waiting on somebody to rise. We just waiting on one incident. Like we thought it was going to be with the Alabama brawl, right? You see how Black folk got on that boat and they was like, oh, we really thought that was going to be it. Then what they do? They brought charges against the brother, and it wasn't even his fault because he had jumped. He shouldn't have. See, that's right there in people's psyche. So if I fight back, that I'm going to jail. If I fight back, and then you look at what's going on in the jail, maybe I don't want to go in there. You just seen that brother get murdered by several officers, right? So now we sitting there waiting, looking to trying to see, okay, what's going to happen with that. So now you got another psyche. I don't want to go to jail. Then you got the brothers that's burning up themselves. So you got a lot of stuff going on, psychological. What's that doing?
Right.
We don't want to go to jail because they've been torturing them for 12 years or however long they've been there, right? So you got a lot of psyche, but it's going to take a time when all that ain't none of that going to matter. We're going to handle our business and we're going to do what needs to be done. And it's going to take God himself to get us off of them. And I do believe that time is coming real soon because black folks tired. They tired.
Definitely.
And it's going to be that time. But we just have to be ready. And this is the time to prepare for that.
Exactly.
And I rest with that.
Brother Isaiah, hold on, Brother Isaiah. I want to welcome Sheila Neal to the program. Peace and blessings, Queen. We're glad that you are here with us. Earthman, I want to welcome to the program. Peace and blessings, brother. We are glad that you are here with us. Earth Angel said they sodomized that brother in New York right on camera, that video. Oh, wow. I didn't know that part. Brother Isaiah, dealing with what Sister Cassie said about this one event that, is waiting that will potentially pop off and make people do what need to be done. How would that be seen, do you think, by those in your country, since you're, outside of the U.S.? How would that be seen? Would that be seen as something that is needed, well, good in time, yeah, let's join in? Or would that be something of, oh my God, look at them niggas over there just acting foolish? How would that perception be played in your country? You on mute. You got to take yourself off.
Yeah, okay. I think it will be played well throughout the world because the world is sick and tired of being sick and tired of white folk and they bullshit. And if you look at the situation in the Ukraine and throughout Europe and the continent of Africa, the time is now. It's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse for white folks. So, like, they got into control because the Bible says, I'm just paraphrasing more or less, that when two brothers fight to the death, the stranger in the middle gets the key to the house. That's how white folks got in control of what during that period of time, 150, 160 years in Egypt, the same period of time in Greece and Rome, and now. They don't know how to run a motherfucking thing other than running shit into the ground. They dumb, stupid, nasty motherfuckers. I'm not here to play. I'm not here to sing no kumbaya. I don't give a fuck about white folk. None at all. They're not only nasty and dirty to the point where they now, even in 2024, they don't take a bath. You feel what I'm saying? And they have no compunction about admitting that shit. They have no compunction about admitting the fact as to who we are. They have no compunction about anything negative that they've done because they know. But the idea is that we got to wake up, smell the coffee, get busy, and unite. You see, this shit is not hard to see. It's not. It's real simple. Unite, unite, unite politically, economically, spiritually, and physically. And all this shit shut down overnight, 24 hours, man. That 24 hours ain't no, how you say it, is in a dream. That shit is some real shit. Now France is begging the African continent or wherever they were flying into, oh, please, man, fuck you. That's all you gotta do. Say fuck you. Fuck you, white boy. Fuck you, white girl. Fuck you, white man. Fuck you, white woman. Get the fuck out my face. No. I don't want to hear no kumbaya, bitches. I don't want to hear no kumbaya bastard. But none of you motherfuckers ain't about that life of virtue. All white folks are about the seven deadly sins: greed, gluttony, sloth, envy, pride, wrath, and love. That's all they fucking do. They're the most hedonistic motherfuckers on the goddamn planet. And I don't think I need to prove that. I got all the receipts, but I don't need to prove that. You already see that all the time, every day. It ain't hard to see. And my last thing I want to say is, fuck all white folks.
Well, let me ask you, Brother Isaiah, because you brought up Ukraine, and we witnessed that, before the war with Russia, or really actually got started, the Africans that were over in Ukraine for education were getting beat up and, killed and all this stuff right at a time when Ukraine is about to go to war. And the women, children, men was leaving the country, but they had time to beat up on Africans. When will, for your from what you see, when will it take for the African to learn to stop going to these damn cracker countries because they're not your friends? It seemed like that understanding have lost them.
It ain't lost. It's right there before your eyes. Somebody, I was listening to a radio station in Chicago when I was there, and the person made a very poignant point. And it all goes back to my eye.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't but a second to go from poverty to richness. It's all in the state of mind. And when you know your past, you can understand your present and predict the future. I say this all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. I am in my motherfucking promised land. Because it begins right here.
Mm-hmm.
In that 3-pound mass of gelatin we call a brain. That's where the seat of God is. It's in the pineal gland. It's not in no motherfucking sky. Nigga. What kind of bullshit? This white folk just saying anything, niggas just go along with it. How in the fuck does a university in Ukraine do better than us? We got the oldest university in the world, Timbuktu. White folk are the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet, followed by the white Chinese, the white Japanese, all these pale-skinned albinoid people. They're not smarter than us. How in the fuck does that happen? Because you've been tricked into believing some bullshit that don't exist. You've been having smoke blown up your ass for the simple fact that our family, our people, our individual capacity has been destroyed for lack of knowledge. The Bible says, I'm not no expert in the Bible. I read it to and fro and to, and I've taken wisdom and words out of that fits me, that I know that when I speak it, it will be seed that's being planted within the mind, heart, and soul of the people. That people can relate to it. People can say, oh, well, I'll be damned. Yeah. That makes a lot of motherfucking sense. Instead of saying, ye, me, people, what the fuck is that? In 2024, that ain't gonna work. But you gotta take all of that and mold it in a way in which people can relate to it. And I believe and I know that, as our ancestors have said many a time before, especially Gaddafi said that when Africa gets up off its knees, that's it. And it is now that time. It's getting better and better and better for us, and worse and worse and worse for white folks, because now, as they did before, they are fighting amongst each other. Oh, we gotta sit back and just laugh our motherfucking asses off. And then just step in, take the crown off their motherfucking head, because that shit belong to us. The name, the title, the money, and all that shit belong to us. This whole world belong to us. This whole universe belong to us. We are the reflection of the black universe. And with all of that being said, I say that fuck all white folks.
Thank you, dear brother. I want to welcome Mayat to the program. Peace and blessings, Queen. We missed you. We're glad that you're here with us.
I just said your name, baby. I just said your name. That's a female, right? I want to make sure I ain't saying no gay shit. I just used your name, baby girl. I just used your name.
Sister Cassie, is there anything you would like to add before we go to our first video?
I just want to say Africa's waking up now. Why Africa is the now, right now. So if you guys aren't understanding or not seeing, because Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, they started it. So now other African countries, Sierra Leone, Mubasa, and some other countries are coming on board now. So they're waking up now. We just have to be patient. It's happening right now as we speak. All we have to do is look around and see the signs. They don't see it, but I see it. We see it. We know it's coming true. So all we have to do is just sit back, like Brother Isaiah said. Let them do them. Let them stay out of their business. Let Ukraine and Russia keep on destroying themselves. Let Israel keep doing their thing. Who cares? Do you? We gonna sit over here with our popcorn, but just don't come over here. But while we sit on the sidelines, we need to be prepared. Also, period. Now rest my mic.
Definitely. So this first video, we're going to start what Isaiah keeps saying every time: we civilize these people 3 different times. So we're going to look at this video, come back, have a conversation on it, because I think it's important to be able to show what we were doing as a people, that we did civilize Europe. So we're going to look at this video, and if we can understand and grasp the concept that we taught these crackers everything, even from how to bathe, then they will understand what it is that we can do. So let's go and check out this first video. Okay, so this first video, you have this, I guess, Chinese girl or Asian girl. She's replying to a comment that this white guy wrote and said, you have been so blessed by your association with us. Just take a look at that cell phone in your hand. The whole world has been blessed by your opinions. And so this video is her response to what he's saying.
You're obviously not aware of this, but blessed is not a word that the global majority thinks of in association with Europeans. Words like plague and colonizer, maybe, but not blessed. And the cell phone in my hand came from China. So I don't know if you're referencing Steve Jobs or Martin Cooper or the Finnish inventor who created the first pocket-sized telecommunication device in 1917, and you probably don't know either because your education system has left you terribly ignorant and without the critical thinking skills necessary to effectively gather information. Because you believe that most great inventions can be attributed to one white person, as opposed to recognizing that the patent system is how white people colonize intellectual property. We would not have cell phones if it wasn't for the creation of the gamma electrical cell by Black inventor Henry T. Sampson. And most of our cell phones would not have microphones in them if it wasn't for the particular microphone that was created by Black inventor James Edward West. The creation of the first digital network, 1G, was launched in Japan, and then Black electrical engineer Jesse Russell pioneered the creation of 2G, which launched in Finland first. 3G launched in Japan, 4G launched in Norway, 5G launched in South Korea, and 30% of the world's cell phones are manufactured in China. Because we of the global majority recognize that collective humanity has the ingenuity and creativity of one another to thank, whereas a lot of European Americans are laboring under the delusion that the rest of us have white people to thank. And it's this narcissistic ignorance that causes people like you to do embarrassing things, like leaving comments about Europeans and cell phones on a video about systemic anti-Black in the United States. And while that could be written off as a comedic and senile non sequitur, we recognize it as a desperate attempt to center yourself in a conversation that has nothing to do with you. The irony being that white people like to say not all white people and they shouldn't be held accountable for the misdeeds of their ancestors, yet they want to be associated with the greatness of the things that they think they invented.
The way she's gathering them calmly and eloquently busting their bubbles, coming in with the facts and educating, I'm here for it. The tides are turning and they are turning fast, and everybody's seeing their BS and calling it out. Not only can we even see this BS, we can smell it because this BS reeks. It has been reeking for centuries now. Unsurprisingly, it's hard for them to believe or accept what's happening right now, but quite frankly, it's the inevitable. These folks lie to themselves so much to the point where they believed their lies. So now that people are coming out with the truth and revealing history that they would rather stay hidden, they don't know how to react because the very idea of their false superiority that they have held on to for hundreds of years now is being shattered in front of their eyes, and there is absolutely nothing they can do about it because the truth is the truth. My favorite quote has become the saying, nothing lasts forever. It's going downhill very fast for these folks. In Nigeria, we have this saying in Pidgin that goes, when breeze blow, fowl yansh go open. If I should closely translate that to English, it would be, there is nothing hidden under the sun. Back by breeze shadow they blow, and we are witnessing the fowl yansh open in real time.
Oh boy. So, John Michael Kohler was an American who invented the bathtub in 1883. But let's think about this critically. Do you really think that nobody took a bath until John Michael Kohler invented the bathtub in 1883? Doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So what he was talking about is the fact that Africans introduced bathing and the concept of personal hygiene to Western Europe in order to build a healthier society during the 800-year occupation of Spain. In particular, a man by this name introduced the practices of bathing, shaving, and using toothpaste, as well as drastically improving the eating habits of Western Europeans. Additionally, the first recorded history of people taking baths was in India in 500 BC. A lot of us have gotten used to how little history some people like you know, particularly where it comes to anything not Eurocentric. However, I have a tip. Before you make a comment like this, do a quick Google search for whatever you think the topic at hand is. In this case, who invented bathing or who introduced bathing to Europe, and then decide whether you still want to make this comment.
The fact that this commenter is desperately holding on to, oh, we created bathtub, don't take it away from us, we did that. I'm just here like, these folks don't even bathe like that though. There is a plethora of videos online of them admitting to the fact that they don't bathe like that.
I don't say we avoid bathing, but we bathe very rarely.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that you're talking about this.
Yeah.
She didn't have a bath for like 5 months of her life.
Yeah, like we didn't bathe her for the first whole part of her childhood. And like now we basically bathe her if she asks for it because it's fun or she's
Really
exceptionally dirty.
We really wanted to keep her skin microbiome as healthy and intact. Now that you guys are saying this, that makes a lot of sense to just like let it be. And I feel like as a mother too, you have intuition to know when they need a bath.
Everybody knows it's that time of the month again where baby Indy gets his monthly shower.
So how do you invent something that you don't even use? And these folks have the caucasity to talk about how we are dirty. In Africa, we bathe 2-3 times a day.
I'm not going to do it.
Well, you're just anti
I'm not
leg
black.
washes.
I'm not going to wash my legs and feet.
You think that's just a black people thing?
Clearly,
Well, and he's
the only one here who took the day off.
It's called
Wash
being clean.
feet. No, I don't think it's a black thing. I think using a washcloth is for poor people, but I
Yeah.
don't think that washing your legs and feet is for black people.
I agree. I think the washcloth is a poor person
Oh my
thing.
God.
Because
I've only met poors who use them.
And this right here, guys, is the superior race. Every day they shock us on the internet. Imagine saying a tool for cleaning up is for poor people. He mentioned washcloths, but in Africa we use sponge. We bathe before going to bed, wake up in the morning, bathe again, even though you spent the last couple of hours sleeping on the bed and you did nothing. You still have to bathe in the morning. Then in the afternoon, if we come home, we bathe. In the evening again, before going to bed, we bathe. And we do that every single day. Watching these people so proudly talking about their lack of hygiene is something.
Hey friends, it's late and I'm tired. Could somebody else please tell this commenter how backwards they've got it? That the medieval ages was something that happened specifically in Europe. It didn't happen around the world because Europe was not doing very well after the fall of the Roman Empire. And that's not to say that there weren't great things that happened in Europe between the 4th and 15th century, but there are large portions of the European population that without the intervention of non-white people like the Moors, who taught them to not sleep with their animals, not drink stagnant water, and practice hygiene, would have been wiped out by the plague. So it's really more that white people needed non-white people to pull them out of the medieval ages. And then given what some European countries started doing in the 15th century, some of us don't think it was the right decision. Okay, I'm going to bed. Thanks.
Sometimes I wonder, I really think about it, like, what would the world have looked like right now? What kind of a world would we have been living in right now if we had just left them the F alone and let the plague do whatever the plague wanted to do?
I do get labeled woke by the wrong people a lot, but that is actually really easy for me to ignore because it's kind of funny for several reasons. The first of which is, as you said, the whole woke mind virus thing is BS. The other thing is the people who would use woke as an insult tend to be the people that woke is not for. The concept of wokeness having originated with Marcus Garvey and the term woke having been appropriated from Black people, when white conservatives call me woke as an insult, it's just funny because it's not for them to call anybody woke. The other thing is that wokeness is only an insult to them. It's not an insult to me. When Black people say that I'm woke, that's a high honor. So white conservatives do it because it's the only way that they have to dismiss the things that I say that they don't like, because it is well informed and it is important and it's about dismantling white supremacy culture, and they don't like that. If they were agreeing with me, then I would have to be worried. And the other thing that's weird to me is, what does it say about a group of people who think that woke is a bad thing, who take pride in being asleep, and their pride in ignorance and narrow-mindedness does show. So as I tend to tell them, if you're going to take pride in your ignorance, don't pretend like you know something.
All right, so that's the first video, and as she talked about.
But these are people that our people want to lay with. Y'all done lost y'all damn minds. They nasty as hell. You licking their butts. I'm just gonna leave it there. Y'all go right ahead. Think you got something? Okay. You think you got something. They have you brainwashed to believe that they better than you. Make it make sense, Black folk. Make it make sense. You sleep with a damn beast, an animal, who don't wash nothing on a regular basis. So you know they're not washing their asses, they're not brushing their teeth, they're not washing their hair on a regular basis. But you sleeping with them. Okay, go ahead. Make it make sense. They got you convinced that they better than you. Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
Exactly.
Oh, Lord.
Exactly.
That's what happened when you let them educate you.
And you know, the part of the education that our people do need, as the Chinese lady was mentioning in the video, that, you know, we taught them to bathe, we taught them how to clean, how to eat food, how to take care of their sick. They knew none of that. They knew none of that, and they artfully did not put that in the teachings for when our children go to school, that we could learn that, hey, this was part of the process of, you know, how the world became civilized.
But God never told us to come together with them, remember? He told us to teach your own children. He said, never let them forget. And what happened? Because we're not educating our children are forgetting. That's the sad part about it. Now, whose fault is that? What we see right now, it's our fault. We can get out of this anytime we want to. Yes, it's going to be bloodshed, but I'd rather fight changing my situation than living amongst them that you could possibly walk down the street and get burned to death. Exactly. They just dousing folk.
Exactly.
With gas. And nobody's rioting. Nobody's doing nothing. Family members ain't rising. What are we doing? What are we doing? The more you let them do, the more they're going to continue to do. We haven't understood that about bullies yet. They don't just stop on their own. We was watching something on Netflix the other day, And the black one, it was a black, I can't remember the movie, but my daughter was showing me something, and the black woman, she had caught the white guy that was a criminal, right? She was getting ready to shoot him, kill him. She didn't. So he came back 6 years later and got her family and somebody. See what I'm saying? But my thing is, if you had understood the dangers, then you would have took him out in the first place. We're not doing that. We're giving people chance after chance. But if it had been her, he'd have killed her. But we can't get it up here that they're all dangerous, because you'll have some say, "Oh, there's a good white folk." Where the hell are they? When your baby's being shot down dead in the streets, I ain't seen not one protest. I ain't seen not one have something to say about Michael Brown. I don't see any of them saying, "Hey, y'all, stop doing this. You know it's wrong. Stop killing black folks." I don't see that. But you're trying to convince me that they're all not all bad. Tell that to somebody else. And when I see black families, black parents who aren't teaching their black sons or their black daughters that those are dangerous, you don't bring them home. You don't date them. You don't sleep with them. But it's hard not to when you got them all bunched together. So if you want your black son to marry a black woman, you got to put them back into the atmosphere of black people, because they're going to sleep with them, with who they're around. So you got to take them out of that atmosphere and bring them back to their own and help them to understand this is who you need to be with. Other than that, your son is probably going to marry a white woman because of who they're around. Then they go to college, and then they go to these white colleges. So you put them in a white atmosphere, and you tell them don't sleep with them. Really? How that work? That's who they're around. I'll rest.
And you know, it's very interesting how they killed the brother on the subway for talking. And they let this migrant set this black woman on fire.
And nobody said
the
nothing.
migrant stands there and makes tries to make the flames go more. And nobody touched him.
Nobody, but you were scared of him talking. You were scared of the brother talking, using his constitutional right of freedom of speech. But you had a whole Mexican who looked like them, who considers himself them, right? Because, you know, in America, you come over here, you white. Even if you Hispanic, you white, okay? But nobody said nothing. Nobody done nothing. Nobody headlocked him. Nobody choked him to death. Nobody let him burn the lady. I don't know what was going on with the woman that she laid there, wasn't running, wasn't doing nothing. She was just laying there. But you don't feel yourself burning?
I guess at that point, it was too late.
Like, what the hell? You didn't feel that oil? You didn't feel nothing wetting your body? You didn't feel nothing being poured on top of you? You don't feel none of that? And people sitting there looking at this.
Exactly.
That's
police even walk by while she's burning. Police walk by and keep it moving.
And fanning it. One boy was fanning it. What the hell? Fanning makes the flames grow, right?
Exactly.
What are we doing here?
Exactly.
Like, this country is done. I'm serious. This country's done. It's done. There's no coming back from this. None.
No.
So y'all buying land and buying houses, and this country is done. Go somewhere else to retire. Somewhere else. Seriously. I'm not spending a dime here. Done. I'm not buying no land in the country that's done. That don't make sense for me. But go ahead. I'll rest my mic on that one.
Brother Isaiah, did you want to jump in before we go to the next video?
Yeah. There's a video that if you want to play the next one. Hold on. If you go to your WhatsApp, it's the one. You can show the picture too. The pictures of white folks with all that fur and shit on them. These pictures are in the European Museum talking about what they were like, and they still are. You can show all of those pictures, or some of them if you want. And then the one right after the YouTube one, the one that I would like for you to show is called "White People Jump on This Trend to Share." And that's gonna be the nail in the coffin. But if you can also show the pictures too of these hairy ass funky people. These people are the same people that just wearing Gucci belts and Levi jeans and some cologne. That's it. But I would say this: there is nothing special about these people. They lie, they scheme, they connive, they blow smoke up your ass, they pretend to be your friend, but in the end, they're stabbing in your back. They'll kill a motherfucking mama if they know they can get a nickel over a goddamn quarter. So their whole culture is violent. Their whole culture is thieving, stealing, lying, conniving. That's their culture. It has always been like that. They come from a cold ass goddamn climate that they were trapped up in after we put them in Central Asia. They don't come from nowhere but black folk, our Dravidian albino. They got locked away in some cold ass climate. And then when you don't have nothing proto growing, you're gonna do what? You're gonna fight amongst your own. If you have no food, you're gonna eat each other. If your animals have no place to go, we taught them not to sleep with your goddamn dog, your cows, and whatever else. But they did that. They did not bathe. They shitted and pissed everywhere. They threw piss and shit out the window. You have to be very, very, very careful about walking up under a window in France. Okay? This is not something I'm bringing, I'm creating. This is some real shit. They had hair all over them. This is the reason why the Black Plague flourished. Because they were drinking, or if they drank it, they got cholera, and they got some other kind of infectious disease because the shit and piss went into the water. So, what did? They stayed drunk 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They had access to alcohol, of which black folk created. So, with this in mind, you got to keep it in mind that these people can never be civil and or civilized. We tried it 3 times. Once in Egypt, once in Greece and Rome, and now, after 1492. They're not human. And I'm being literal about this. They're not human. The only human beings, the only people are black people. We're the true Homo sapiens sapiens. And in that next video, you're going to hear it. I'll throw it back at you.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, we're going to go ahead and play the next video. And Sister Cassie, I just saw that message you sent. Was that the boy who was getting jumped that got charged? Oh my God. Oh yeah, we're gonna come back and talk about that.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about that.
That's why right then you asked him why. That's why. You were taught not to defend yourself. What you supposed to do? Get away from them. Go ahead.
The black men couldn't even look at they women. They just hang them. That's right. You looking at shit, I don't care how you better not. I don't care how much you think you'll be scared of it. She said you mess with her, they come to get you and take you out and hang you. Wow. And so many black people got lost and died. The women was lying on them. Yeah. Like little Emmett Till. Yeah. But they did Emmett Till. Right. Lies. Yeah, lies to get you killed. And she said you raped her, you ain't even told. They believe it. Yeah. I'm like, you to believe that. I mean, they come to get you and take you out in the woods and they have fun, burn you up, hang you up, and everything that you die, and you can't do nothing about it. Yes, they did. It's so pitiful. God changed that, but when little change come along, and that's why they killed him. Yep. They didn't want that to happen. No. That's why they killed him. They killed Kennedy. Yeah. They killed Bobby Kennedy. Yeah. All the children. What's called the black mother? What's the Malcolm X? Yeah. They killed them all. Yeah. And the Republicans. Yeah. Kill them all. And she, Mama Kennedy was sitting around for president. Yeah, they got rid of him before he got stars. Wow. What I've been through is, I don't talk about it. I just leave it alone. You know, because young people don't know what you're talking about now. Mm-hmm. I don't make it. I ain't teaching them nothing. They just find out the hard way. Yeah. Because they think white people like it. That's a bunch of crap.
That some all white people ain't the same. It's some of them nice.
Don't tell me about it. I know that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Look at how long I worked for people out and the black men.
Now, I played our elder because as you heard, she knows the history of white folks. But the problem that I have is she said, I'm not going to tell the children. I'm going to let them find out the hard way because they think that they're nice. Why would you let them find out the hard way?
Right.
When you know who this enemy is, you know what they're capable of, but you will not tell the children. That's a problem that we have, Sister Cassie, within our community.
Absolutely. That's why we're in the shape that we're in today, because we have forgotten. We failed to teach our children how dangerous they are. If the adult don't say it, if my mom did never tell me they were dangerous, I will believe that they're friends, especially when you have a parent that's allowing them to come over and they playing. We got a play date with White Sarah, play date. And then you know that they're murdering your babies, but you allow them to go to their homes. Then your baby come up drowned, come up burned, right? Ain't that what happened to one little 8-year-old? Went to visit, come up burned. Nobody died. I'm just saying. But this is our fault, family. This is our fault. Be mad at yourself because they show you every damn day and you still let them educate. You still take them to their schools. You still let them be around your children unsupervised. And then some stuff like the knifing happened. And you still don't take your children out of their schools. What has got to happen? When it hits your door, then you're going to be mad enough to move. Well, you should move before it's hitting your door. Why are you waiting for it to hit your door? Why are you waiting? You always supposed to counteract something before it happens, right? Why aren't we doing that? Move them out of those schools. We have black schools already created for us to take our children to. And you still sitting there looking like dummies because you feel they're going to get the best education. They're getting abused and not learning nothing. They're fighting for their lives every day at them damn schools, being bullied. Now, these children can come to Norfolk State. They can come to our HSBCUs, right? And nothing happens. Go over there to Denver University like my daughter did and was abused every day. Every day. Every day. There was this white beast. He was a bully. He was the ringleader. I'm calling security because my daughter, calling me on, all kind of stuff. I told security, you let something happen to man, I'm coming.
Exactly.
So I'm coming. I meant that. I'm coming. Let something happen to her. She minding her business. Because I'm coming. Because you failed in to protect. I'm calling you back in 10 minutes. Your ass better be up there at that dorm. Because I'm not playing with you. I meant I'm coming. I meant that. I'm not playing with these crackers. So you have to understand. But there's no way he didn't tell us to let our children learn for themselves. He told us to teach them. That's the craziness that we got to deal with in our community. You'll know that that's a bad guy and won't even tell your daughter, baby, don't date him. Something wrong with that dude. Something wrong with her. I let her find out for herself. No, I'm going to say what I need to say. Then you're going to make your choice. But I'm going to at least show you what I see. Because we've been there and done that. We see the dangers. But we're going to have to get busy here. This is just ridiculous. I told you about my granddaughter in the school fighting. She was bullied for a whole year. Bullied. She done told 6 people. Nothing. Then when she fight, you give her 5 days. What you giving her 5 days for? She told you. 6 adults let her down. What if that was dangerous? You think I wasn't going to come up that end? Oh, somebody was. I'm not playing. These people crazy. And these were Black folk. They have gotten us so trained that we will keep our own in line to show them that I got you, master. I got you. I'm going to protect you, master. We'll suspend and we won't even protect our own when they come to you and tell you it's an issue. They got Black folk trained well. Now rest.
That is something that definitely has to be dealt with in the proper way. Too many of our elders think that they're helping us by not telling us what this enemy really is, how this enemy really deals with people. And that makes us defenseless. When it's time to engage, we'll turn away. And when that moment that we turn away is the moment we lose our life, because we have failed to engage, because our elders have failed to teach us who these demons are that we're actually dealing with. Now, you will see these fake Jews point out the Germans each and every time, and will tell you that, their so-called Holocaust is the worst thing that ever happened on the planet Earth, when in reality, it is not. It is not. But when it comes to telling the story of what has happened and what is happening to us, it's like our elders get quiet.
You got Black folks talking about it didn't even happen. That's the sad part about it. How you gonna disown and say slavery didn't happen? Exactly. What the hell wrong with you?
Exactly.
You're an agent. Calloway, that's an agent, people. Dan Calloway. He told us, had a whole slew of people following him. Slavery never existed. What the hell? What other culture says that their history didn't happen besides Black people? I've never seen anybody. I haven't heard the Oohs or whoever you want to call them say, we weren't really put in ovens. Nothing ever happened to us. I've never heard that. Have you? I've never heard that. So why are we as Black people? You know why? Because we don't know our history. Because we've allowed them to teach us. And we continue to allow them to teach us and to educate us. Tell us, get over it. Bitch, you get over it. You get over it. Don't you collect another dime. Get over it. Don't you get them you oohs or who's or whoever you call them another dime. Don't give them Indians no more money. Don't give Ukraine no money. Deal with your traumas over there in Ukraine. Don't give Afghanistan no money. Don't nobody else get another dime. Deal with it. I will tell you, won't give you restitution, won't give you reparations, and then you got Black folk talking, we don't need it. What the hell? You ain't even got no money. You drowning in debt. Can't pay Peter and Paul, but you sitting up to time what you don't need. You take a whole seat.
Ridiculous. And then, the thing that she was saying, well, when the younger girl said, well, not all white people, because there's some good white people. And she said, oh, yeah, because I work for the good white people. All this time I've been working for them, and they good white people. Ain't no such thing as fucking good white people. There's no such thing. None whatsoever.
See how brown white doesn't even sound right, do it?
No. No.
Doesn't even sound right, do it? What the hell? Good white folk. You talking about one person that you're working for that still treat you like a dog on any given day. Exactly. You trying to talk something about how good they are. You're an idiot. A brainwashed idiot.
Exactly. And we were at the a conference in Mississippi, and I had said that our elders didn't do right, and every elder at the conference was pissed off, and people in the audience was jumping up to comment and to say I was wrong and everything, but then I ran it on them and showed them where the elders didn't do right. Because if they did right, we wouldn't be in this situation fuck now.
That's right.
That's right. The proof that they didn't do right.
That's right.
And it's this thing that, well, you can't say that because that's an elder. Bullshit.
Yes,
I
we
can't say
can.
that.
Oh, yes, we can.
I can.
Because
Because
that
we're
elder was being
buying off
used
of that.
all the time. That elder was being used. And we know he was being used. We're going to call it like we see it. MLK was being used, black folk. He took your ass to a building and left you in that building. And your ass still there. Looking around at the exit sign but won't get out. What the hell? What's wrong with you? What that make you? An idiot? Because I know some black folk back in them days that said, we're not going to come together with them. We're not going back to their schools. And what y'all do, y'all dog them out. When we were separated on our own land, you could have fought for your own land and built your own land up. You'll come over there and build up theirs. You done made them white folks millionaires. You could have built up yours. Yours would have been better than theirs. Period.
Exactly.
But you sat up there and swallowed the Kool-Aid and fought against your own for them. To take your, so we want to go to school with them. Okay, now you in their schools. Now look at your kids dying. They're getting picked on. They've been traumatized. They're getting bullied. And now what? You happy now? Is your child getting that best education? Or they get more bullied and then their self-esteem ruining lives, ruining self-esteem. Black kids killing themselves at 10 years old, 12 years old, because they being bullied by them beasts. But you don't understand how dangerous they are. I still want to say it's good white folk. Kiss all of it.
Exactly. Brother Isaiah, did you want to add anything before we went to the next video?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Fuck all white people. You know that was coming.
All right. So I'm going to show the video of the brother that was jumped and then charged with a crime. Because we have to be able and be ready and willing to fight back. You can't be just laying down accepting any old bullshit. That's not the day that we're in. Look here. John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, ain't none of them coming to save you. You got to get in there and put up your fists and you got to fight back. Let's just look at this, what happens to our brother.
A black child defends himself from a knife attack. He gets arrested. He gets arrested for defense of self.
Maurice, turn it up a little bit.
This is an interesting story. So a black child attacked on video with, quote, a big butcher knife, was arrested for defending himself, according to the mother. The mother says LA school district failed to protect her son from bullies. The child, whose name has not been made public, was attending the Verdugo Hills High School, where only 1.5% of the student population is black. He may represent half of the black student body himself. Okay, there's more. So 14-year-old child was racially harassed, threatened, and attacked by Hispanic students over a span of months before he was arrested for trying to defend himself against a knife-wielding student earlier this month, according to recent claims filed against the Los Angeles Unified School District. The incident that led to the black student's arrest took place on the 9th of December, following an early afternoon altercation between himself and at least two other students on school grounds that was recorded on video. In the beginning of the 35-second video, an adult female voice can be heard saying, quote, "You can handle it after school." An adult female voice can be heard saying, "You can handle it after school," as two students gang up on the black child. Towards the end of the video, somebody can be heard saying, quote, "He has a knife," but it is not clear who exactly has the knife. But attorney Brad Gage, who filed the claim last week, which is a precursor to filing the lawsuit, said it was one of the Hispanic students who threatened to stab him with a, quote, big butcher knife, only to end up getting stabbed himself along with another student. Quote, at some point, others that are part of the group or gang, they come and chase our client with a big butcher knife trying to kill him. This is what the attorney told CBS News. However, it was the black student who ended up arrested on charges of assault with a deadly weapon, which are still pending. The two stabbing victims suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The attorney, Gage, said it was simply a case of self-defense against racial bullying, but it is still not clear if the black child had his own knife or if he stabbed his attackers with the knife they were threatening to use against him. Quote, make no mistake about it, this is a case of racism, Gage said. Quote, he was a young student who happened to be black in a school that has almost no black people. And this has all the elements of racial profiling, racial harassment, and a hate crime. And certainly I'd like to see the district attorney's office prosecuting these folks for their hate crimes on my client. The black child ended up suspended for 3 days while no action was taken against the other students who did, in fact, bring a knife on video and attempt to physically assault. And when the boy's mother complained to the school district, administrators failed to discipline the students who attacked her son, which she said encouraged them to continue and escalate the harassment and abuse. You know, moments like this, parents have very few options outside of getting an attorney because it is clear while the rules may say one thing, the culture is saying something else, especially if you have an adult in the background yelling, you can handle this after school. That means this is likely an adult who works there, co-signing on the culture of bullying, racism. The point of they don't know if the victim had his own knife or somehow he took the knife that was attacking him and turned it on the other two. None of that matters. It is within the context of self-defense still. The but-for factor are the students who tried to assault him. And while we can look at the students, and obviously they are responsible for what they attempted to do to this black child, you also have to look at the construct from the school system that seems to cover this up or would like to perhaps the parental structure as well. Because why would you have so much hate for somebody in the school system that you would bring a butcher knife, chase them? What were you going to do when you caught them? Catch a murder charge on the school property? What kind of madness is this? And then nothing happens to you. That only sets them up for failure. Thinking that this is acceptable. They already got their ass handed to them, just to be point blank. Somebody else may not have a knife next time. They may have something else.
That's right.
All right, Waz, you know, when we allow, and man, I know some educators who would prefer to be friends with students, but they can't because they have to be moral authorities. They are allowing this to happen on some level because there's an adult on the video telling them, just do it after school.
Yep.
What say you?
That was the thing that struck me the most, the lack of adult intervention there. When two young people are having what is clearly about to turn into a physical altercation, it's your duty to step in and rectify that situation. Like, that's why you are the adult in the room. This idea that you just be like, you know what? I'm not getting paid enough for this. Y'all do this on somebody else's time. That's just a horrible attitude to take. And it's clear that, you know, with the lack of discipline to the other kids, they're just not enforcing anything that looks like consistent rules and standards in this place. So it's not surprising that bullying was allowed to fester and go on. And it sucks that the family had to retain representation, because obviously the school district was not going to be compelled to, basically make this right on their own. And so, this is just a sad situation all around. But hopefully they get what they need out of this, because this is just horrible.
Yeah, we'll bring you updates as.
See, here we go again. They talking about that legal system, that same legal system that we live in today that don't do shit when something happens to us. Now you're gonna sit here and say, okay, here with the same conversation we're talking about tonight. Let's wait for the justice system. No, let's not. Let's go and handle this. Seriously, what are we waiting for? You always turn into their system and they system, just like the little black girl. The white girl was suspended. She came, started a fight with the black girl. The black girl beat her ass, bunched her, hit her head on concrete, caused, some mental brain stuff, which she deserved, because you should have kept your hands to yourself. You was already suspended for the same stuff. And they charged the black girl. You see what I'm saying? Get your children out of their schools. Let's save our children their records. Let's save our children's self-esteem. Let's save our children's sanity. Let's save our children. What are we doing? I don't know. Nobody's talking about, hey, let's remove our children out of these schools. Nobody's talking that. I haven't heard that conversation yet. You'll talk about it, but you're not talking about how you're going to fix it. Let's talk about how we're going to fix it. Yes, the situation. Yes, we see what's going on. What are we going to do about it so this don't keep happening to our babies? Stop thinking that you got this baby in an all-white atmosphere, that he getting the best of anything. He's not. He's getting the best of their trauma. He's getting bullied, I guarantee you, every day by somebody in that school. And then when he tell, they ain't gonna do nothing. They're gonna let him fight, then they're gonna send us behind the jail. Like they did with this baby. Tell me that boy wasn't bullying him before now, before the knife stuff comes to fruition. I guarantee you that baby has been bullied since the beginning of the school year. And now he got to fight because won't nobody else do nothing. But I'm West. This is crazy. This is crazy. But we still don't have it. Just like somebody said, we need hate crime bill. For what? They're not going to use it for you anyway. If they give it to you, they're not going to use it for you. They'll get everybody.
Sister Cass, what does that say about this so-called black and brown unity?
Ain't no black and brown nothing. What the hell? What black and brown? Do you ever hear them say black and brown? Anything? Never. Because they are for their own. But we always gotta explain. Well, black and brown. I said, stop saying that. Black and brown, nothing. Them this Hispanics, racist, some racist devils too. Them Hispanics is horrible when it comes to black folk. They come from a country full of nothing. Goddamn chickens in the yard, nasty, disgusting, and you want to sit up here, come to America, and want to try to be up over us. Get down. Go back. Scat, rat. Eat some of everything. Remember the woman in New York, you seen her roasted a rat? This was recent, roasting a rat. She didn't care about eating that thing. Because that's what she do over there in Mexico. And they don't tell her what kind of meat you eating anyway when you get they meat. Stop eating off them trucks too. They don't even wash their hands. See more black folks standing in line with their taco trucks. Get out of here. Get out. Stop it. Stop it. Now you finna make them rich. Supporting their food. But good, set you up a soul food restaurant, a soul food truck, and see how many of them come visit your soul food truck. Exactly. We gotta stop. This is madness. We gotta stop. Not one of them will support your soul food truck. Chinese, nobody. You eat Chinese dog, cats, and everything else, and you'll support them, but then set you up a soul food anything. Or a hot dog stand, they ain't coming. They're not gonna support you because they have they have it said in their society they don't support anybody else but their own. That's the hidden word, but not us. When we gonna have a word like that? Let me catch you at a Chinese shop. Let me catch you and you know how they treat you. and you still going to get your nails and hair done. Sit down somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all just ain't gonna learn. Then wonder why you dying. Because you're hard-headed and you're not doing what y'all told you to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're not obeying Most High's laws. He told you, do not mix and mingle. Come from among, be ye separate, and learn not. And what have we done? We've done everything he told us not to do. And happy to do it. And we'll cuss you out for telling them not to do it. They'll cuss me out. Cuss me out. Okay. Won't like me because she too hard. Bitch, you need to be hard too. What's wrong with you? You ought to be sick of getting used and stepped on and stomped on by them brown people. Your so-called friends. Go ahead. All right.
Exactly. Now, Brother Isaiah, we understand you live in a country where a lot of Hispanics, or I don't know if they actually Hispanics over there. Are they Hispanics over there, Brother Isaiah?
Do you really want me to go there, or you want to hear the lie? Or you want to hear the truth?
I want to hear the truth.
I'm going to tell you the lie first.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
The lie is that these, like the pale skin Japanese, pale skin, these motherfucking want to be Hispanic and Latino. There's no such thing as a Hispanic or Latino. That term came about in the 1970s, man. You feel me? And we don't look. Well, let me exclude myself from that because I'm an American, foundation of Black America. So let me make that point. But my wife and everybody that's Dominican born, they don't see themselves as Hispanic. They talk about it, but they know themselves to be black. You feel me? There's a sister that did a piece on Dominican hating black people, and that's not true. Out of ignorance, just like in America, you have some black folks, whatever degree that some may be. I don't know, 25%, 30%. It's not the majority. I don't believe in America, but here, I'm going to say maybe 1 out of every 20%, one out of every 5 don't know their history, and they don't understand the importance of that background, that connection to not only the continent of Africa, but Africa being the idea that Africa begins and ends at the four corners of the world. So, with that being said, I really, and I know personally that there's a lot of pride and nationalism being a Dominican here. There's a lot of pride in the flag and what that means, and the colors and what that means. There's a lot of pride in the food and the music and the land because we take care of the land. Is it perfect? No, but there's a lot of pride in being well dressed and being clean and being about your family and being about if you Catholic or Christian, that they go to church and they all about that family, all about the hood, familyhood, brotherhood, sisterhood, fatherhood, and the barrio to wherever you may live. Now, are there problems? Of course, you got every culture has its problems because it stems from an economic angle, right? Because there's no minimum wage here, like we do in America. So the Dominican people, like Mark was saying, they're these people that call themselves Hispanics and Chicano or Latino. It's a mythology that they bought into. And a matter of fact, I don't remember the name of the video. There was a Hispanic. Now let me take that back. There was a so-called Hispanic. He didn't consider himself to be Hispanic, but there was the Hispanic guy going around Hispanic neighborhood saying that, don't you know you're not Latino? That's a made up myth. It's a made up term, Hispanic or Chicano. You feel me? So with all of this, I am here to tell you that the world is really fucked up in this white man's matrix. Got us believing in things that don't exist. And this is a major motherfucking problem. They fucked up the world. And when you play that video that I talked about, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear white folks saying that they done fucked up and that the only people that can really change this world and make it better and more peaceful and more prosperous are black folks. I'll throw it back at you.
Everything they touch, they destroy. Every time
Yes,
you
yes,
be
yes.
bothered with them, that you have to understand they come to take over. They're not coming to share. They are coming to take over. And I understand what you're saying, Isaiah, but I keep telling you, I have students that, and some of them don't want to come on, whatever. But they've told me how those white, the ones that are white over there, how they have the divide with the black and the white. The black ones look like me. And
Oh
the
yeah,
white
I mean, well, let me clarify. Let me clarify that. Now you got light skinned black people in America. You got the darker skinned people and everything in between. But that ain't got shit to do with mixing with these motherfuckers. Nothing. If they are a so called a Dominican and white, and they do, I'm gonna admit the truth, they do have this inclination. Sorry.
white. I'm just saying. This is what the
No. I mean, there's a motorbike. I didn't know if you heard it. There's a motorbike going by. But the idea is that just like in America, maybe I don't know how that term would come out, but or they're saying like, well, you don't want to be like no Haitian, real dark or whatever. You want to be like lighter skin, and you want to get with white folks. That's mental conditioning.
On purpose.
You feel me? But white folk, Dominican people don't like white folks here. I'm here to tell you, they don't. They get robbed at every turn.
Well, they show want to.
And they do not like white people here. And when I went to the bank, I saw 3 white girls, and I'm looking at them. I damn near took out my camera. To take a picture. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
They don't even get it.
They were feeling very out of place.
They should feel out of place everywhere they go on earth. We ought to make their asses feel out of place.
Yeah, like, man, if you don't get your funky asses up.
Don't tell them nothing. Let them walk.
I mean, I'm Sister Cass. I'm looking at them like,
turn your head and look the other way. Tell them
yeah,
to go
but
to the part of the area here. Go down there. That's the best part you need to go to.
but everywhere they go, they ain't saying nothing but black folks. So,
yeah, they should have known they're coming over there.
Well, yeah, I'm in agreement with Sister Ma that these people come over here trying to shit on us, not even knowing that we're the real Jews, we're the real indigenous people of America, we're the real Americans. As a matter of fact, they wouldn't be getting any kind of help or assistance if it wasn't for a black man by the name of King James, Charles, and George, who established and maintained the 13 colonies. So all of that is being X'd out, not being talked about, and not being taught. And they only get in the fringe of black so-called debased culture, and they think that we're not about a goddamn thing, and we're the one who created America. Now throw it back at you.
There's a thing where in New York City where what I was told, so I don't believe that it's most Dominicans. I don't believe that, but it may be, I don't know. But what I was told is that they don't, if you say, well, we're all black, they'll tell you I'm not black. Let
me share some light on that. Yeah, let me throw some light on that. The reason why they may say black or do say black, because in reality, they're really not. that the white black concept as we got in America, it doesn't ride here as it does in America. It doesn't ride here in the Dominican Republic. So when you're looking at and you're talking to a Dominican, they might get the idea, the concept of racial animus and racial division based on what they hear, not what they experience, because everybody here is black. And so when Dominican, let me put it that way. So when they talk about I'm not black, they really are identifying with their nationality. It ain't got shit to do with denying their color. It has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with their culture, with their music, with their food, with their flag, and with their overall nationalism is all about. And it's all about black. They know that. I can tell you that. Because the founding fathers of the Dominican Republic were all black. And we fought like tooth and nail against Haiti and tooth and nail against Spain to liberate us and get our liberty and get our freedom. So the concept of blackness doesn't ride here as it does in the United States. So they do know they have African roots, and that's why I wish I had that video of the Dominican sister telling you this. We know, but due to ignorance of not knowing our real history and how that plays into it, then you get the I don't want to say if I want to say it, the buffer situation or the in between situation where you're going from one side to the next, or you don't really know. You're bouncing from one side to the next because you don't know. You feel me? That there's what's that word I'm looking for? There's a not a denial. I'm trying to think of the word. It's like that gray zone. You know what I mean? You just don't know what happened, what really happened. And I had a lot of conversations with Dominican people. They just don't know who we are and what our history has been. And all they get in their school is white folks doing shit. You feel me? And so with that being taught, that white supremacist idea and concept in the school system, then that gets played out in the real world in which they go to work, in which they socialize, in which they do this, and all that being reaffirmed in the negative rather than in the positive. You feel me? You feel where I'm going with that?
So it sounds like, and you have to correct me if I'm wrong, brother, but it sounds like you're saying on one point, yeah, they know that they have African ancestry, but we don't really rock with that anyway. Is that what?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not saying that. See, I wish I had that sister's video, the Dominican sister. She really laid it out. But the idea is that we know, you can if I'm in a crowd as an American, and there are like out of 15 people, I'm one, and there's one white guy and or girl in that group. They're gonna say, well, the white one is not a Dominican because I look just like him. You feel me? But the concept of history, of truthful history, is not taught here. Now, I sit down quite a bit with my own wife and their friends. They don't know. They don't have a concept of Timbuktu. They don't have a concept of real Jews of being black, and they are real Jews. They come from the tribe of Judah because that first ship from San Tome in West Africa stopped right here before it went on to South America and America.
But
hold on, there's a car going by. Say that again.
I said, but this is the thing though. When they get to America and they come here and they say, I ain't black.
No, I feel you. Exactly. But it's based out of ignorance. You feel me? And so the first thing they're gonna say is what they heard and what they've been taught. I don't go along with them niggas. Don't go along with them American black. Cause as a matter of fact, I'm thinking right now. I was on the beach with my wife and family and her friends, and this Dominican sister came up to me. You an American black motherfucker? I almost went off. I was like, no, I'm Dominican American. I understand where you're coming from, but don't bring that weak shit to me about. You know what I mean? I'm saying all this in Spanish because you gotta understand that some of these people get it in their head that there's a difference between how am I going to say that? It's coming up now. There's a difference between American black and Dominican black. Culturally speaking, there is. Culturally speaking, there is. Culturally speaking, because they have no concept of apple pie and football and stuff like that. You know, those American cultural iconic ideas and concepts. They have no idea about that. But when it comes to cultural affinity, they do because they know they if they fuck around with white folk, they gonna get it. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying? You feel where I'm going? They understand the racial animus that white folk have against black people, whether it's Dominican, whether it's Jamaican, whether it's African, whether it's whatever. But the idea is still there that the foundational aspect of Dominican people is their blackness. But the first thing on the menu is their nationality. They know they have a flag. They know they have a culture. They know they have a language. They know they have this, they have that. And just like American black, we have a flag. We have a culture. We have a language. And all of that is all based, if you really accept the truth about it, it's all based in blackness. It's all based in black. And, you know, Dominican people are very proud of their culture. As we are proud, foundational black Americans are proud of our culture, because at the root of it all is the fact that we are autochthonous indigenous people to America in the America. The America consists of the Caribbean, North America, Canada, Central America, and South America. All of that is America. Whether it's Dominican, whether it's Jamaican, it's all America. It's just not the continent of North America is not that. The whole concept is that all of that. The Caribbean Basin, the Bahamas, the Aruba, and all of that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Let me ask you a quick question so we can cut to the fact.
Okay.
Are you saying that when they come to America and they say that they're not black and they identify with whites, are you saying that we should?
No, I didn't say they identify with white. I'm saying that
what they do
oh,
when
okay.
they do it. They
okay, yeah.
So my question to you: are you saying that we should cut them some slack because they reject identify with the enemy?
No, not at all. What I'm saying is understand the underpinnings of what is going on and the educational system from which they come. They don't know a motherfucking thing. When I go past the school, all I hear is just chatter and playing. I'm being very serious about it. And this is the reason why I want to start a school that really understands the history of the world and teaches that. Because if you look at, this is the reason why I took my own kids out of the fucking schools here. They weren't teaching. You can learn Spanish, you can learn English, you can learn math. That's like general shit. But when it comes to history, they don't have a motherfucking concept about a goddamn thing. Especially about the true history of white folks. That they're not white, they're not Caucasian, they're not Aryan, they're not Anglo-Saxon, they're not European. They just bleach out black folks. That's it.
And that's the saddest thing right there. When you are in a black country, black, and you have the authority, but you don't change anything. Pull that educational system down, replace it so that you can start learning your truth.
Look, Sister Kathy, I went to the dean, I guess he's the dean, or the head administrator of the school they go to.
You can't do it by
now that right. So that school, in their mind, if you paying a whole lot of money to go to a school, I gotta be the end all, the be all of the school. It got to be really good. Oh my God, that motherfucking school wasn't shit. In the year that they were there, and I'm sorry if I'm going on and on, but in the year that they were there, the teacher didn't know a motherfucking thing. I had to come back and correct the teacher. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You can't do simple kindergarten motherfucking shit. Big ass goddamn dummy. On top of that, and after speaking to the administrator, I got in his motherfucking white ass and like, what are you doing?
Colonizing your children 2024.
Yeah, and he teaching, and his whole attitude was white supremacy.
Exactly. So they should have kicked his ass out.
No, they're not gonna. No. Let me give you the full story as much as possible.
Can you give me this version? Because we know I live going on.
I like to give you the fullness of it all. Now, I'm gonna trim the fat.
I can't do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm one of them A to Z. Give it to me like this.
I'm gonna give you the ABC, and you can fill in the rest.
Oh God, just give me the A to Z, the A and Z. That's it. The beginning and the end.
Wait. I'm gonna take all day to get to A to Z now. I'm gonna give you the ABC.
Give me the A and then get to Z. Okay, don't give me all of that.
I'm gonna do what Maya said. Trim the fat. So here I am. I'm sitting in the office. Right, and I'm talking to this motherfucker. And I'm saying, like, look, you're not white, you're not Caucasian, you're not anything, none of that. So let's just put all this shit on the goddamn table right now, because I'm not here to play. You are very influential with these young black minds, and you got to know that from which we come. You people, we civilized 3 times, blah, 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 blah. Now, what is the curriculum here? He told me. I'm telling him, this is what you need to do to change. You know where they get the curriculum from? University of Texas.
White.
Really?
I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean, nigga?
Why not create your own? Why are you coming to America?
No. But hold on. This school is the school that is run by the family of the president, Abinader.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. But remember, I was telling you that Abinader is from an Arab family that settled here a long time ago.
And Arabs hate black folk too.
Exactly.
An Arab man who has a school that nobody black should be in because he hates black folk, and he's going to teach white history. White, you coming to America.
Exactly. So you got to understand that. No, but hear me out on. But hear me out on this point.
It's crazy.
There are schools here that cost a lot of money.
Of course, and you're getting taught white.
And the reason being is that they get it in their head if they go to these schools and they paying all this money, it got to be a great education. That's not true.
Ooh, they destroying y'all.
I paid about $500, $250 a piece for the both of them, which is like 20,000 pesos or something like that. With the educational tool that I had available to teach them, it cost how much is that? $25. It's cost $25, $12.50 to teach what should have been taught to our boys over the last last summer. So and it's still going on, still paying that, and it's a hell of a bargain. I'm telling them, this is what you need. Not only that, these are the books that should be taught. But did they change it? The default is that they cannot get away from the University of Texas curriculum that's been brought in or been told to follow.
With nothing in America.
No. Exactly. And this is why I am saying
their history is going to be racist anyway. So why would you bring that? Why would you want to bring that to your country?
Right. But
stay over there.
Sister Kathy, the only way that I can combat it and to help the future generation is to start my own school.
Yep, that's it. That's
it. And to be able to combat the ignorance that these young kids got by starting a black-run, black-administrated school that
That's
is
what you gotta
focused
do.
on black history, black
Teach it
culture,
in there and
and the
open up.
connection between the Dominican culture and American black culture and all of that, because it's all combined. There wouldn't be no rap if it wasn't for black folks in America, and that cultural influence coming to the Dominican Republic. Do rag coming to, I'm not trying to minimize it, but the idea is that the whole thing is that we are influencing uh, black culture in America around the world, and especially here in the Caribbean basin. So once we understand that America is not just North America, it's all of the Americas as we know: Canada, North America, South America, Central America, and the Caribbean basin, the Bahamas, the Aruba, and I think the Seychelles is part of that too. I don't know. But whatever islands are part of that, it's all inclusive. That's America. I throw it back at, because I've been running my mouth for too long.
You didn't trim the fat.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah, still waiting on Umar Johnson School. You got that right.
We ain't gonna talk about our brother like that. Whatever. Go ahead. Anyway.
We're going to turn our attention to a TikTok video where a brother was addressing his daughter. The teacher was bullying the black students in there. And we're going to watch and see how this thing turned out. I really believe, I'm beginning to believe at this point that black parents become the abuser themselves when they don't know how to engage the enemy to save their own children.
Right.
This is what I'm believing to see.
They have taught us how to love, how to hate our children. They've taught us how. We're not gonna save our children unless white folks say it's okay. We're not gonna fight for our babies because then we're gonna offend white folks. Damn. If your children don't belong around them, then move them. They don't know how to treat your children. Go ahead. That's crazy. We keep making excuses for nothing.
Exactly.
Can't hear it.
Because I let some shit slip through the cracks. And now this is a big, when your kids come home and tell you
something, you turn it up some.
Something going on at school, jump on it right then. Because I let some shit slip through the cracks. And now this is a big mess. My daughter had been telling me about this teacher she got. She said the word she used is he's always negative. Daddy's always just negative. So I tell her, toughen up. It's okay. It's going to be negative people in the world. It's going to be positive people. You just make sure you're positive. You know what I'm saying? So the other day, she recorded him on her Apple Watch of one of his little rants. He telling them they stupid, they dumb, they're idiots.
The hell?
He will not be. This is an advanced class. He's telling them that next year, if it's up to him, they won't be in an advanced class. They'll be at the bottom.
What the hell?
Basic classes, because they're basic. They're stupid.
Oh my God.
To be in his class. So I'm ready to go off. Have a meeting with the school. They tell us they don't even want to hear the recording because it's illegal to record a teacher.
Okay.
They told us then to email him, and if he denies it, then they will bring up the fact that they have proof that he said what he said. We emailed him. He denied the whole thing.
Of course he would.
Child is a liar. I'm glad she did have proof. He said he would never call kids stupid, idiot, dumb. Everything he said, he denied it. He said my daughter must have got his words misconstrued. So, hey, lawyer up. Your kids come home and tell you something about a teacher.
That's sad. That's so sad. But he knows that, but you still won't take your daughter out of that school because he's destroying our children. Every day they're with him, and they're with him 8 hours of a day. So you got 8 hours for a whole, how many months, how many years? And you know that white teachers are like that. They know what they're doing. They're placed there in history, and a lot of them teaching history. A lot of black teachers don't teach history. A lot of white teachers teach history, and they're going to teach their stuff.
Use AI.
But we don't ever combat that. We don't take our children. We don't get mad enough. We lawyer up. Hell damn with the lawyer. Get your ass out. Take them out of the school.
When you call me,
what are we doing?
Get that shit out yourself.
That makes no sense to me. I don't want to lawyer her up. I want my child to go to school every day and feel good about themselves. What's he doing to them children? Because he's been put there to do that to them children. And you ain't gonna tell me that principal, that school district, the school board don't know who he is and what his job is. And he's doing his assignment by destroying black minds. Now you're an honor roll student, you're an all A student, you're in advanced classes, and you got a man telling you that you ain't shit, you ain't dumb, you stupid. Who want to hear that every day? And we as parents don't do something about that.
They pressure you and try to talk
That's
you about
crazy to me.
Let me play the second. Let me play this.
So
Two more
today on the way to
parts.
school, I told my daughter. So today on the way to school, I told my daughter while sitting in the front office doing this class, because we all agreed she shouldn't be in the class anymore. If they pressure you and try to talk to you about the situation, tell them you want to talk to your parent, call your mom. Sure enough, they tried to pressure her and talk to her. So she asked to call her mom. The principal calls my wife and says, yeah, she wants to speak to you. I don't know why. My wife's like, I know. I told her to call me if she needed to. And then the principal proceeds to say, that recording should have never happened. And then hands the phone to my daughter. So this shit is getting real personal at this point. They're obviously covering for his ass.
Of course they are.
We're about to go above and beyond to get this shit straight. All the way straight. Okay, my daughter's not going back to sit in this dude's class. At this point, my daughter's even regretting saying anything. She says, I should have never said nothing.
See that? Ain't that something? It's gonna make her feel like she shouldn't have told. That's what they do.
Kids.
Gaslight.
Like it's bullshit.
They gonna punish her for catching him in his shit.
Who don't want to do nothing about it? Their ass gonna make the news. If they don't make the news for the spelling bee, the grades, scoring, high test scoring, whatever, they gonna make the news about this shit. And you can bet that.
You know what they doing to her. Do you not know what they doing to his daughter when he's not there? You think they're not harassing her?
Okay, so the school X them out.
Yeah, this week and one more video.
Okay, so the school X them out. They're not gonna do anything. They're not even gonna. Nothing is gonna happen to this guy from the school. Okay, they're neglecting it. All they're coming back saying is the recording was illegal. The recording was illegal. The recording was illegal. And yesterday, while my daughter was sitting in class because she's waiting to be placed in another class because we're not allowing her to go back in that class and have him treat her a certain type of way because we know he will. I mean, why wouldn't he? So she's sitting in the office, sitting out of this class, and the principal walks up to her and says, "You know, this is technically skipping."
Ain't that something?
My daughter too. Like this shit, you can't make this shit up. Like these people have lost their damn mind. So at this point, we're reaching out to the school board district. We're waiting on somebody to come. They can't believe it.
But you're still not taking your child at school.
Something's gonna happen. In my state, it is illegal to record someone without them knowing. It's illegal. It's a third-degree felony. So, but without this proof, this guy is a liar. This guy will lie and say he didn't say it.
Right.
Now he is
break the law. Okay, so he can break the law. He can mistreat your child. He can abuse your child, and it's okay. Even if we have proof, we're not going to do nothing about him because she did an illegal act, but she was trying to prove a point. What the hell is going on here?
But it's
so no matter what, they are covered.
Stupid. Actually think they're dumb. Actually think they're idiots, and they're gonna be running with that shit through their life. These are 12-year-olds. He's molding a 12-year-old's mind with those words.
Yep, exactly.
In a fucking civics class. Like you gotta be joking. You gotta be kidding me. Like
he shouldn't even have his license.
At this point, I'm just ready to take my daughter out of the whole damn school because it seems like they're gonna be treating her some type of way. Like I want the principal to be in this shit too. This shit is personal as hell now. Of course. We're forwarding every email, the audio, all that shit to the school district. Like this shit they have to hear it. Damn the illegal, damn all that. Y'all got to hear this shit because he's lying. He said he didn't say.
Put him on blast, show his face and everything.
Y'all stay tuned, and I will be posting the audio. I don't give a damn. I will be posting the audio.
Show his face and post the audio so them the parents would know.
Think about me. Whoa. Man, I appreciate all the people.
This is the last one.
I appreciate all the people, man, that's been reaching out, giving encouraging words, just standing beside us, man, in this crazy time. I really appreciate that. I appreciate all the advice as well. We do live in Florida, and it
Oh,
is a state
shit,
where it's legal.
that's enough said right there.
Illegal. It's
Florida.
practically felony.
Florida, Texas, Ohio, not happening.
A recording is made to catch an act of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
That's the loophole. That will be totally justifiable. And my daughter only hit the record button because she knew this guy was about to go on one of his rants. She knew it. She told me, she was like, "Dad, he was spewing." And I
Ain't
hit
that sad? You got to hear that every day.
of it. And he can't keep getting away with this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As of right now, my daughter regrets recording him.
Of course.
Because everything she's going through right now.
That's crazy.
School's treating her different. The principal of all people, like, I don't understand. Like, I can kind of get it. You want to protect your teacher, but if he's that wrong, you want someone telling the kids.
Yeah, because the white folk gonna stick together.
Like,
exactly.
What kind of person
They
are
gonna
you?
stick together.
That's the principal of the school.
He's not gonna come together with him.
Like, nothing has happened to this guy since my daughter recorded him. He's still teaching classes.
Every day.
If I was principal of that school, he would have been out of a job that same day. All the principal is spewing to us is, it's against school policy. It's against school policy. Screw your policy when you have a teacher calling kids stupid. Screw your policy when you have a teacher calling kids dumb. Screw your policy when you have a teacher calling kids idiots. The policy goes out of the window. You could get sued. What don't you understand? Like, you're playing with kids' emotions and their future. They're playing on their minds.
He don't care. He's doing his job.
So the principal, she's gonna get what's coming to her too. She's gonna get it. Trust and believe. Not letting her off the hook. She's been nasty to us through this whole situation. She's treating us like we're the bad people when the bad apple is teaching at your school.
Mm-hmm.
And it's her first year at principal. So she's setting a horrible, she may be out of a job next year. Once this gets to the top, she's going to be out of a job along with him. He works part-time at Hobby Lobby. It's about to be full-time. She might want to go work with him.
Hobby Lobby.
It's crazy. It's out of control. But I'll keep y'all updated. And as far as me posting the report,
he's not advocating for his daughter.
No, he's not.
He's not. He's a coward. Sit his ass down. He's a coward. He's teaching this child how to be a coward.
Yeah, because
somebody listening to him. You didn't make me mad.
As a person, I'm gonna do it the right way.
What's the right way, dude? What's the right way?
That's definitely gonna be on the table because these people are literally playing. Like, they're not taking us serious. They're just talking about.
Yeah, that dude sound real moist.
Your teacher screwed up. You need to fire his ass.
They should. Every parent should be showing up at that dude's class every day. We want him fired. We heard this video. I don't care what you got to do to get it out. He's scared. He's scared. That's what it is. He's scared.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to, I kind of want to protect my daughter, but I'm scared. He really scared because he's moving too slow for one. You got your daughter sitting in the hall instead of being in class because of a tape that she made, but you're not protecting her. Take her out of that school. How long you and the other parents? I would put that dude on blast if I got to make a newscast for him. Put his ass on blast with his tape. Let them parents hear what this dude is doing to their children. Our parents should be up there. Parents should be up at that school every day. He needs to be fired. You're not gonna fire him for abusing our children. We're gonna handle our business. He don't need to be up there.
No,
we need new era. We need new era up there.
he really doesn't. He's not qualified to deal with the enemy on that level. He doesn't even know who the enemy is.
No,
he has no fucking clue.
No, he keeps talking about taking it to the lawyer, taking it to the school board. The school board is protecting, the principal's protecting that dude. They know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Do a background check. I guarantee you, the school he came from, that's why he got fired. This ain't the first time. This is his assignment. He knows the assignment. And our children, we're not teaching our children their assignment.
Exactly.
We don't know the assignment as parents. We'll sit there and allow this shit to continue on. He's ruining your children's minds every day that they're sitting under him. And you sit up there pussyfooting along with this shit. Oh my goodness, I'm done. I'm done.
Exactly.
We don't have parents.
There was a time when my son, my oldest boy Rasul, when he was in the, I think he was in either kindergarten or first grade, and I come to pick him up from school every day. And when I picked him up from school this day, he said that the lunchroom lady, he said the white lunchroom lady, that devil, she had a nerve to grab me by my arm, daddy, and almost knock me down to the ground. I said, oh, really? I said, come on, let's go deal with it. So we go straight to the principal office. And I'm like, my son just told me that one of your cafeteria workers dragged my son, damn near knocked him to the ground. He's like, I ain't got time to hear about this right now. I got to go down to the Board of Education. Our new Board of Education president is giving a press conference, and I got to be there, so I can't hear this now. And walked out the damn office. I said, oh, okay, that's how we going to do it? Let's go. Got in the car. We went down there to the fucking press conference. They was having their press conference. I walked right up in there, and the damn head of the school board was like, any questions? I said, yeah, I got some questions. I said, because my son said that principal, his principal, the school worker, dragged him down there and knocked my son to the ground, and I'm dealing with him. He tell me he ain't got time to talk to me because he had to be here to this press conference. So now I'm telling all y'all right now that all y'all better answer to what happened to my boy, or there will be no peace up here. Let me tell you, every reporter, news camera, all of them, they swooped that damn camera on me. You should have seen it. It was like, oh shit, the angry niggas here now.
Hey.
But I'm telling you, look here. They showed me the girls write up and everything.
That's right.
They took this information down, the newspaper people and all of it. The damn president of the school board over there apologizing, jumped on Jude right there in my face to put him in check. And it's like, look, and I'm looking at my son, and he's smiling because he see his dad is going to take action.
That's right.
Happen. We're going to get results.
That's right. That's right.
And this is what we got to be able to do.
Right. That's right.
We got to be able to do this. But the fear, that they have stops them from being real men.
That's right.
Stops them from being able to protect their children.
That's right.
To hell with that. I will go to war with you over
That's
mine.
Right. He should have been sending that recording to the newspaper. He should have been on his job. His daughter should not have been afraid or intimidated about going to school. She should have been proud to go to school the next day because my daddy handled some shit. Now he look what he got his daughter going through, feeling crazy. I shouldn't have said nothing. So what's she gonna tell it again? No, she gonna let it go because I'm not gonna do it because my daddy didn't do what he didn't do his part. She shouldn't be sitting up there thinking, well, I shouldn't have told. She should be glad I told because it was handled. He's sitting up there sitting on that recording. I'd have sent that thing to the newspaper. Oh, y'all ain't gonna do nothing about him. Here you go, newspaper man. I'd have sent it nationwide. Do you hear me? Nationwide. I got a teacher in here being abusive to our babies, and they don't care. They're not handling their business. But I'm gonna tell you what, I would have took mine out of there in the first place. Wouldn't have been there.
Exactly.
I want to say something. I want to say something.
Oh my God.
Now I give no two flying fucks about white folk. I never had, and I never will. Thanks to my mother, thanks to my father, thanks to my grandmama, and my family in general. Feel me? There was never a time that I remember when I was a little shorty, 5 on up, that I ever had a problem with white children my age. Never dealt with that shit. The reason being is because I understood who they are, what they were, and how they are. And just like Brother Muhammad just said, you gotta take their motherfucking feet and put it to the fire. Okay, that's when they get, okay, I'm sorry. I stabbed that motherfucker in the eye when I was a little boy in the 5th grade, white boy, going to damn near all white school. They were. I think there was no more than 5 there. Now I'm not proud of that. But which is better, me get my ass whooped by a white motherfucker and have to report that to my father? Are you out of your motherfucking mind, nigga? My father would have beat my ass and told me to go and beat his ass again. You understand what I'm telling you? You got to fight, because these motherfuckers don't know how to fight. All they know how to do is bullshit. I stabbed one, because he was winning. He was on top of me, and somehow, some way, I reached up on top of the thing and found something. And I knew it was a pencil. I just stabbed him in the eye. That was it. I thought I was going to jail. I didn't. Nothing happened. There were a whole lot of other instances like that. You know what I mean? But the idea is that if you don't fight, you're gonna be a bitch ass nigga to these motherfuckers. If you don't fight politically, economically, physically, you're gonna be a bitch ass nigga, a moist ass motherfucker that they know they can push over and fuck over time and time and time again. Malcolm X said it during 1960 down there in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, that they were getting their ass whooped by black folks because they were serious in a motherfucker about beating that ass. And here comes some Johnny come lately niggas known as the Big Six, Martin Luther King, and the rest of them. Talking about we're gonna go along, and the white Jew boy is in the middle, in the mix, trying to work it out and get it out, and then all of a sudden, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna put you in the head of this civil rights movement. You're gonna be the head and in the tail, but I promise you, if you can just settle these niggas down, settle these black folks down, you're gonna be the head of it. I promise you. Martin Luther King was a fucking sellout. I don't give a fuck what you think about that bitch ass motherfucker. And all the rest of them motherfucking Big Six. These are not my words. These are the words of Malcolm X, our great ancestor now, telling you how to deal with these motherfuckers. But some of us, and I'm gonna read it to you, what I sent to Brother Marie. Hold on. I'm gonna get to it. Some of us, as Booker T. Washington said, there is another class of colored people who make a business of keeping the troubles, the wrongs, and the hardships of the Negro race before the public. Having learned that they are able to make a living out of their troubles, they have grown into the settled habit of advertising their wrongs, partly because they want sympathy and partly because it pays. Some of these people do not want the Negro to lose his grievances because they do not want to lose their job. Now, with all of that being said, some of us don't want to fight because in their motherfucking nigga mind, they figure if I can just get a couple of more crumbs than these niggas, I'll be better. The mindset is a bitch, man. I'm telling you. As we know, I am that I am is all of our name. You think as you are, and you are as you think. And when we can work it out in our own mind, individually and collectively, and wake up to the godly state in which we are from, we are our ancestors. But somehow, some way, we're still under that curse of white folk matrix and to thinking that they the shit, they ain't shit, and we have disavowed our loyalty. To who? to our ancestors. They didn't. You think they tolerated this shit? On the show that I did yesterday, I'm telling you, our Egyptian forefathers beat that ass. It was a black, a black queen out of Egypt telling the last of these white motherfuckers, get the fuck out or your head's gonna roll. You feel me? Ain't never a time where we've been warring with these motherfuckers for a long time. Ain't never a time that we have not warred with these motherfuckers and putting our foot in their ass and the other foot on their goddamn neck. Because they don't know how to act. And the title of this show is it a mental block that stops black people from being God? And it is. We are destroyed for lack of knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Once we get that don't make this mother, because I swear to God, I would take the hand of our ancestors and bitch slap the shit out of you. Because the shit don't make no goddamn sense. It's real simple. You are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Get the knowledge, you stop being destroyed. You become unified politically, economically, spiritually, and physically. There ain't gonna be no motherfucking trouble from these bitches. Period. End of that discussion. No more. I just seen a white boy getting all up in the black guy's face on a plane, and the guy just beat his ass, and all he could do was just lay there with a bloody nose and I think one or two teeth knocked out, if I'm not mistaken. But he was fucked up. So he fucked up and he fucked around and found out. But the idea is that it's the same thing. Individually or collectively, we fight. Like Trump would say. But it's so goddamn easy. I don't even know why people don't see this shit. We are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Get the knowledge without being destroyed, and tell these motherfuckers when you are combating them in their school, hey, look, let me tell you something. You ain't white. That's a made-up fantasy. We know the real deal about you, motherfucker, because we civilized you bitches 3 times. Do you want some more of this truth told? I'm here to tell you that I'm not going to be putting up with this bullshit. Just like I did with the guy with the administrator in the school. I'm not going to be putting up with this bullshit. You either get it right, or I'm taking my kids up out the school. He told me that the school got this curriculum from us. I said, all right, you ain't got to tell me no more. I'm taking my kids up out there. I didn't tell them, no, I just took them out. I can do a better job in teaching them what need to be taught. My son that's supposed to be in the 2nd grade is in 3rd grade. My kindergarten is in 1st grade. Real talk. 3rd grade math, social sciences, and I think there's another subject. But they're going beyond where they are, and they speak in 2 languages. I make sure, my wife got kind of irritated. Well, you need to be in the school. No, baby, look. Now, these schools here don't have nothing to teach. And eventually she began to see it because, and a lot of people, they think, going to school, you're supposed to go to school and learn something, and, you be it. You be on your way. But that's not the case. Not in America. Not here in the Dominican Republic. You have to be an active, participating father, mother, or parent, making sure that your kids are understanding and getting the basics. There's a lot of great programs out there. I've seen them. The one for people to know, the one that I use is IXL.com. Now, when I'm telling you, I'm sorry, it's not allowing me to put it. IllinoisXrayLarry.com. When I tell you that program, and you got to spend a lot of time with them, don't hand off your kid to no motherfucker. If you don't know, then that's a curse that you're passing on to your own kids. Don't stop the curse of ignorance. right here, right now, and allow your children to be blessed with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, not only of our ancestors, but of you as the father, as the mother. You have the onus that rests upon your fucking shoulder. Nobody else has that. You cannot pass your kid onto a school system that don't give a fuck about your kid. So the only answer is be participating within the education of your own kids. Yes, it's a lot of work. Yes, it's a lot of time. But in the end, when they become young adults and adults going to university or whatever, they're going to look back and say, my parents did their job. I throw it back at you.
All right. Thank you, Brother Isaiah. Sister Cassie, did you want to add anything? All right. We're going to end it with this one last quick video because I want us to see.
Well, don't forget to show that the video I told you about now.
Okay. even if our people, these celebrities, and you think that they're wise, they're smart, they got money, they know how to handle things, then that's not really true. So we're going to check this out, this video of Shaq having a conversation really quick. And see, did Shaq make the right decision?
I don't want to spend $400 for a car. So I'm like, hey man, how much is this? Nah, how much is this one? So finally the old guy says, yo man, you asking about all these cars, can you afford them? No, I'm pissed. I said, what the fuck you just said, man? So I buy 3. That one, and I don't want them dropped off. Move the seat back today, I want them dropped. So I got 3 Rolls Royces that I'm dropped. So they go another man. I don't want to spend $400 for a car. So I'm like, hey man, how much is this? Nah, how much is this one? So finally the old guy says, yo man, you asking about all these cars, can you afford them? No, I'm pissed. I said, what the fuck you just said, man? So I buy 3. That one, and I want them dropped off. Move the seat back today, I want them dropped. So I got 3 Rolls Royces that I'm dropped. So they go another man.
So Shaq went to go buy a Rolls Royce, and he didn't like the customer service. A white boy say, you know, hey, do you really got the money? And Shaq say, what you say to me? You know, yeah, I got the money. I want this one, and this one. So he bought 3 Mercedes, 3 Rolls Royce that he's never even driven. $1 million right out the window that you never even driven. Now, to Shaq, that's showing the white boy, I got money and I can do this, da 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 da. When all you did is enrich the white boy after he's quote unquote smacked you in your face. That's not wisdom. That's not intelligence. That's foolishness. You just enriched the man that smacked you in your face. And for what? And for what? Makes no damn sense whatsoever. That's not thinking. That's not the right way to be. That's not the right way to handle situations like that. Sister Cassie, what's your thoughts?
You know what? We always got something to prove to them. Oh, and you ain't proving nothing. That's just like Oprah, who went in that one store, remember that time? And she bought out the whole store. What point did you prove? I seen a thing, it was like a joke, I guess, and it was the black woman who owned the bar, black man or woman. And white guy came in there and he was trying to insult the owner, right? Didn't even know the black person owned the bar. So he kept, insulting the black woman. And then he'd say, buy rounds for everybody. I'm buying rounds for everybody. And the black woman say, thank you. Not understanding that he was putting money in her pocket. So it doesn't matter what you have to say. But as long as you're spending your money. And he was insulting her. And every time, he'd insult her, he'd buy another round. Thought he was doing something. And then in the end, he found out that he had just lined her pocket. Because he found out she was the owner. So that don't mean nothing. You still helping white folk.
Exactly.
That's how dumb we are. We think we hurt them by purchasing, or we think we hurting them when they told us don't come in my restaurant, and we go in there and sit down and order.
Exactly.
Make it make sense. Ain't no telling what you was getting in your food from these crackers. You sitting up there drinking they what? Who want to eat what? Some of the stuff we were doing just didn't make sense. So that to me makes no sense. What he could have did was open up his own. Feel me? And black people supported him.
Exactly.
Here you go. Here you go. We got a new one. Come on over here. Okay, take your money from over there. But we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna go and purchase a car from them. What in the world? Come on. Make it make sense. How did that make sense? It didn't to me.
Nope, not at all.
We never come up with anything that's gonna hurt them. It's always gonna appease them.
Exactly.
Because they paying you. Because for real, that's your boss. So you can't say nothing to hurt his feelings. Else he gonna hurt you in your pocket. Why not you hurt him in his pocket?
That's right.
When we gonna hurt them in their pocket? Taking our children out of their schools hurts them in their pocket. Then they can't have our babies this. So now we building up our kids. Now they're gonna do what they need to do. They've had our kids for 70 years and they've ruined up my baby's mind.
Exactly.
Ruined our babies. Shame on you, black folk. Shame on Shaq.
Exactly.
No point.
None whatsoever. None.
All
None.
right.
And the fool sitting around with him at the table. Oh, yeah. Like, what? That shit don't make no sense whatsoever.
Dummies.
Whatsoever. Doesn't make a bit of sense. And our people look up to them.
Yeah.
Look up to them. Shame. All right, Brother Isaiah, this is that picture you was talking about. Gay couple that portrayed the perfect family gets 100 years in prison for raping their adopted sons.
I threw that out in order to show that this is their culture: hedonism, pedophilia, violence, the whole nine, and they're hiding all of this under the under the umbrella of civility. These people are the worst motherfuckers on the goddamn planet, and we need to understand that. We need to know that, know it, so that when we are confronted with these bastards, we deal with them on an up and up and say, hey, look, whether you know it or not, it was a mistake for our ancestors to civilize you, motherfucker. You cannot be civil in any capacity whatsoever. You're nasty, you're dirty, you're stinking. Just like we found your funky asses in France, shitting and pissing on yourself, and never taking a bath, and staying drunk 24 hours. See, all that, when you say that, all that let's shut all that bullshit down. Because they don't know, or they do know, and that's why that other video is so important, because they know. They're running game. They know they're running game. But when you step out of this, I don't want to say inferiority complex, or this not knowing, or of this ignorance that a lot of our people have about them and themselves, then you are showing them who is the daddy. I'm your motherfucking daddy, bitch. I'm your mama, bitch. But the old saying goes, when you disrespect your parents, your days upon the earth are long and long suffering. And believe me, karma is coming back in full form on these motherfuckers. We ain't forgot. And you know how we do. We just gonna say, I bet. And when you hear that, I bet, you know the score. Because when the table turns 180 and it's our turn, it ain't gonna be no more of that. We're gonna put these motherfuckers in jail where they belong, because before 1965, the majority of the people who were in jail in America were white, 95%. So they have a criminality gene. Real talk about the criminality of these motherfuckers. They're lazy. They lie. They're lying. They don't work. They don't want to work. They want handouts. That's what they've been getting all along. And this is what Vivek Ramaswamy and the whole the whole Republican Party is all up and on. All these Trumpsters rather, are all up and on. Well, I'm white. I deserve this. Brother, what? But the wake up call is here. And if you can, but please play that one, then we'll be out. But that video where it talks about, hold on, where it talks about white, hold on, I want to make sure I get it right. Boy, where is it?
Didn't they prostitute those babies out? They gave them to other men too. They adopted them just so they can abuse them.
Yeah.
They shouldn't get no because they're gonna enjoy it in jail. They should die. They prostitute them babies out to other men.
Yeah. Right, of course. This is their culture, Sister Cassie. And the underground pedophilic murdering culture that they got with kids with drinking adrenochrome and killing and eating kids. These motherfuckers are still doing the same shit they did when they first got it. You feel? But the name of that, I'm sorry, but the name of that video is called "White People Jump on This Trend." To share. Let me send it back to you.
Oh, I gotta run. I don't have time to play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We'll play.
But but the idea that if people hold on, let me see if I can bring it up.
Come on, we gotta move the closing comments.
Okay, I just want to pin it so that people can click it and then they can look at it. Hold on. Copy the link. Hold on. And then they can just go and watch it. At the 4:30 mark, you'll see this the white woman with glasses on top of her head talking about black people and how precious they are. And if it wasn't for them, white folks cannot exist and would not exist. But copy and paste that one and then let's get on out of here. But I know you got to go.
All right. Sister Cassie, your closing remarks?
I'm going to be short. Parenting is everything. And we are not protecting our children. And you're trying to say, you want things to be a certain way for them, right? But if you got them in the wrong atmosphere, and when they come to you and you're not protecting them, you're not doing them you're not doing them due diligence. Parenting, you're there as their protector. But my thing is, we have to get to the place where we're not working on their jobs and we are entrepreneurs. Okay, get out of that atmosphere because they got you brainwashed even on these jobs. You kissing ass and you doing everything, but not work as hard as they want you to work. You don't get a bad mark. Be who you really need to be. They wouldn't have you at them jobs if you was really black. They wouldn't have you at those jobs. We have to get to the place where we are becoming entrepreneurs so that we can create the new beginnings for our babies. Teachers need to open up these schools. Stop. You see what's going on. You in the midst of these schools. Even as far as the principals, you see what's going on. You can't swallow their Kool-Aid and treat your own people like dirt. They'll pass that down because Willie Lynch taught them how. He said, do this to them. And then they'll carry it out themselves. Ain't that what he said? And that's what we're doing. We're carrying out their racism against our babies. We won't even protect them when they come to you. We won't even protect them. Parents won't protect their children. We know what goes on in these schools. We know what goes on because we live it every day.
Okay, I'm coming.
But you'll still allow them to educate your children. I know you got to go, Maurice, so I'm done. This is it. But we got to do better.
Definitely.
I think they got the message.
Thank you, Sister Cassie. Thank you, Brother Isaiah. I want to thank everybody in the audience. And I have to rush out of here. But this was an excellent program. Please subscribe, share. We definitely have to get the message out. We cannot continue to be doing the foolishness that we are doing at this present time. And so
let me say this.
Hurry it up.
Brother Muhammad, you a jive turkey for not coming on and playing me in the Madden. This is one of the things that one of the comments were talking about. You jive turkey.
I wish I had time to sit around and play Madden all day. Hell, I got a world to build.
That's right.
As we say.
You kill a nigga and I'll kill a nigga and me, and our God will reign supreme. We are Black first, today, tomorrow, and forever. Love you, family.
All right.
And stay black, 24/7, 365, sir.
That's right. And fuck all white folks.
Oh, you got me on that one. I didn't see that one coming.
You better get the message and get it straight. You're gonna need some bridge work. It's simple as that.